Yes, I finally have a new idea. I hope it doesn't suck. Hey, it is Charles from Books on Stereo, and I have a new video idea slash series that I'm just super excited about. So you know how we have the try a chapter tags or vlogs? I'm not sure what it's called, but it's try a chapter. I wanted to find a way to adapt that same idea to audiobooks. So we are going to be trying samples of audiobooks. So this video will be called Try a Sample instead of Try a Chapter. You see, I'm clever. You see? So in each video, I will try the audio samples for about 12 books. And I'll give you my thoughts on these samples and whether or not if I'm actually going to pick up the book to read. Or I should say to listen to, because I listen to audiobooks. So up first we have Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So let's get to listening. So quick thoughts. I really love the narrator. The narrator for this audiobook is Julia Whelan, who is kind of like a superstar in the audiobook space. But for me, like, I just wasn't really hooked by the sample, so I definitely don't think that this will be a book that I will pick up in the near future, but maybe down the road I may change my mind about this book. It wasn't that the narration was bad, it was just the writing and the way the story and a little glimpse of the story that we saw, it just really wasn't quite intriguing enough for me to want to go out and pick up the audiobook. Then I have Unmasked by the Marquess by Cat Sebastian. So quick thoughts on that little audiobook sample. So the narrator for this one is Joel Leslie. I typically this narrator usually does kind of like the MM historical romances, so it's kind of interesting to see him in a MF historical romance. But for me, I like the narration, but like again, the story just didn't grab me. So I probably won't be picking this book up in the near future. Then up next I have Now That You Mentioned It by Christina Higgins. So let's get to listening. Quick thoughts. I didn't really like the narrator. This narrator is Z Sands. I know she typically narrates a lot of this author's work, so I wasn't too much of a big fan of the narration. But the story did seem a bit intriguing, but still not enough to just kind of capture me and just like make me want to run out and buy the audiobook immediately. So this one's going to be a pass for me as well. And then next I have The Marriage Lie by Kimberly Bell. Quick thoughts. So the narrator was Joanna Parker, I believe. I did like the narration. It was a little bit hard to kind of get a quick grasp of how the story was going to be told. The writing to me was a bit generic. This is definitely one book that I feel like you need to really start from chapter 1, or if there's a prologue to really kind of get into it, because it feels like the sample that they chose really doesn't do much to kind of establish the tone or the characters or a little bit about the mystery. So this is a book that I will be passing on as well. Then next I have In a Dark, Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. So quick thoughts. So the narrator for this is Imogen Church, and I love her narration style. And this book I'm actually really intrigued. Like, it didn't give me too much detail into what is happening or who are the characters, but it set up enough interest, or I don't even know how to describe it. It just made me just want to continue reading like another page or another minute of the audiobook. I was just like, I like this. I don't know why I like it, but I have a good feeling about this one. So this is going to be one book that I definitely will be reading in the near future. Next, I have Full Disclosure by Cameron Garrett. So quick thoughts. So the narrator for this book is Adenrele Oho. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing the narrator's name incorrectly, but she does a fantastic job so far, and I'm really intrigued by the sample. Like, the characters are on point. You got a little bit of a glimpse into the plot, not the huge overall plot, but you got a nice little subplot and a nice little character interaction between our main character and her father, and I am so stoked to get into this book. Then up next I have The Golden Hour by Beatrice Williams. So quick take. So in this book we have actually two narrators. We have Cassandra Campbell and Saskia Marleveld. I believe that's how you pronounce that narrator's last name, but we only heard one narrator so far in this sample, and it's a little bit tough to gauge whether I think I liked it. I think it was fine, but I definitely don't think it was enough for me to want to go out and buy this audiobook again. And I think this just illustrates just the importance of how important it is to put out a good sample for your audiobook, because it serves as a hook to get your readers to buy the audiobook and listen to the book. Then up next I have Cocksure Ace by Kay Webster. So quick thoughts on this book. So we actually have a dual narration. We have both a male and female narrator. The male narrator is Gomez Pugh and the female narrator is Maxine Mitchell, and we only got the male narrator's portion of the book in this audiobook sample, and I really enjoyed it. I think it definitely allowed me to get a taste of the characters, not so much the plot too much, but it definitely kind of piqued my interest into checking out the audiobook, especially because it is free through Audible Escape. So yeah, so this will be definitely one book that I will definitely be picking up in the near future. And then up next I have the Courtesan Duchess by Joanna Shu. So quick thoughts, so the narrator for this book is Carmen Rose, and she does an absolutely fantastic job with the narration so far, and I'm just really intrigued to see where this plot goes. Like, it gave me enough plot details and enough character details that it made me just really interested in picking up the rest of the book. So this will definitely be one book that you will see hopefully in some form or shape, either on a on my radar list for any of the months or whatever, but I'm definitely going to be picking up this book in the near future. Next, I have one of my most anticipated reads. It is Let Me Love You by Alexandra House. And you guys, if this sample does not slap, I'm going to be so disappointed. So quick thoughts on this. So spoiler alert, I love this sample and I'm definitely going to be reading this book in the near future, and this one also had a dual narration. The female narrator is the same narrator for full disclosure, and then the second narrator is the male narrator, and that narrator's name is Jacoby Diem. And yo, I am so excited for this book and I just cannot wait to read it. Then up next I have his Consort by Mary Combs. Okay, quick thoughts on this audiobook. So the narrator for this one is Scott Smith. He is a new to me narrator. I haven't listened to any of this narrator's previous works, but I'm also very intrigued in the sample. It didn't give me too much story, it just gave me a lot of descriptions of the setting and of our main character, but other than that I don't have too much information on the plot so far. It seems like it's a little bit historical, and I believe it is an MM romance as well, so this is definitely going to be one that I definitely pick up in the near future. And then the final sample that I'll be listening to in this video is Against All Odds by Bella Emmy. So quick thoughts, so this book is narrated by Gordon McCarthy. It seems a little bit like a novella. I believe the audiobook is only like an hour and 15 minutes, but I really enjoyed it so far, and I am super nervous that this one is going to destroy me emotionally because that audio sample was a little bit sad, so hopefully it doesn't wreck me too much, but this is definitely going to be one that I will probably be reading in the future. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know if you like this style of video or you want to see more videos like this, because I just really enjoy making this and filming this video. But also let me know if you have read any of these books that I highlighted in this video, and let me know if you liked or hated some of them, or are there some books that I passed on that you think I should definitely give a try. Let me know down in the comment section down below. Peace.